and gentlemen. But, but. Right, there we go. Zandvoort, ladies and gentlemen. So we have Mr. Connor Sheridan on a lap. I need to get everything up. Is Chlorine Pilot ahead of him? Chlorine Pilot is ahead of him. We'll go on board with Chlorine Pilot. So we have 14 people here today. Chlorine Pilot leading the way out of the people on a lap. Charlie Roberts gonna come across the line, does a 10.7. Next up, Sonar does an 11.4. Who's next? Mr. David Ahn across the line, 10.8. Got a Mercedes of Aaron Stone. Who goes fastest with a 10.2? And we have Freddie with a 10.8. Mr. Sweaty Chicken. Rounding the final corner now. ERS and DRS wide open. Across the line, 10.8. Next up, the Ferrari of Fingers starting his lap. I'm going to ride on board with him. Or I'm going to watch on board with Swistak as he goes around the final corner. Swistak across the line, goes P3. Because we have Mr. Daralan ending sector 1 now, 25-0. That's a lot of grass. And he's backed off. Carl Whiteside on his lap. Going up. In through there, down and through there, setting according to the game the fastest first sector, and he's gone off into a wall. And now we ride on board with who? David Ann's on a lap, I think. Sweat Chicken starting a lap. He's on a cool down lap. And he's on a lap. David Ann we're riding on board with. This goes through the left-hander into the DRS zone now. Less than a tenth up on his time. Fingers at 17.4. Did make a mistake. Around the final corner for the other Ann brother. Across the line. 10.7. He's doing that. We're on board with Jaden Carpenter. 24-7. In sector 1. Tiny lift through there, switching it to no ERS. Bit of breakage through there. Keeping it in no ERS. I like this from Jaden. ERS. All the way down. Into the mini stadium section. Still in no ERS mode. Bringing it back up into hot lap. Rounding the penultimate corner. Into the final corner. He's going to get nearly got a beautiful slipstream by his teammate. Across the line, it's a 10.2 for Jaden Carpenter. Pumps Mantis, Mr. Carl Whiteside moves up into P9. Sonar's not on a lap. David Ann is starting his lap. So I'm going to ride on board with him once again. So round through turn 3. Is that turn 3? Into turn... I don't know. Up the hill. Down through the left-hander, flat out. Moving over this. Hello there, Simon, mate. As David rounds the left-hander. I'm making this sound a bit too dramatic. ERS down the straight. 3/10 up on his time. Exiting the mini-stadium section. As Pumped Mantis sets the second best lap time of the session. Here comes David Ann across the line, 10.4. Got Daniel up next now, 49.1. Sector 1 and 2. Exiting the stadium section now. Through the penultimate corner into the final corner. Bump, jumping all the way. Wolf sets a 10.0 and Daniel sets a 10.5. Fingers losing the rear end of it. Mr. Darrell Ann, just over 5 seconds up on his time. Needing a good exit out to the final corner, low on ERS. Rounding the final corner and going across the line to set an 11.2. Freddie's probably finished his lap. He's finished his lap. He's finished his lap. So is he. We're going to ride on board with an F5 driver, Mr. Maratib Ali. Into the banked corner now. Up the uphill now. 24.8 in the first sector. Flat out through there. By the Pakistani driver, sorry. Through the right into the left. Fairly decent run through there. ERS being deployed into the stadium section now. 48.9 in both the first and second sector combined. Rounding the final corner now. Good run through there. DRS wide open. That's a car heavy into the wall. It's Charlie Roberts. He's out of the session. Swistak barely up on his time now. Rounding the penultimate corner. Jumped the gun a bit there, didn't I? Opening the DRS around the final corner. Gonna go across the line. Marginally improves, doesn't improve his position. Mr. Sweaty Chicken on a recharge lap. Carl Whiteside is back there. We're going to ride on board with the Sweaty Chicken himself. Is he going for another lap? No. We're going to ride on board with... Is he on a lap? Is he about to start a lap? He's about to start his lap. Is Mr. Maratib. Cross the line, start his lap. Rounding turn 1. Through turn 2 into 3. Round 4, very, very deep. Loses the rear end. That's basically his lap over and done with. He's 5/10ths down. We're going to ride on board with Pumped Mantis, who's not on a lap. We'll stay on board with him then. Maratib, 6/10ths down on his time. Jaden Carpenter says himself for pole. It is cloudy out there. Someone's saying sonar's terrible. We all have our own different opinions. As we have Mr. Aaron Stone on a lap. I have a ping in Discord in the F4 chat. As we have the Czech Prime Minister joining us, and that's a spinning Aaron Stone. So we have a Carl Whiteside rounding the hill. That does not make any sense, but we move. Tiny lift through there. Only down to 4th through that corner using ERS. Out of the corner. There. DRS wide open, not using overtake. Into the section. Less than a 10th up on his time. The Czech Prime Minister is now in a Sauber. As we see Carl Whiteside rounding the final corner. And across the line, splitting the beam, moving himself up to P2. As we now see the Ferrari of Darrell rounding turn 2 into turn 3. Bit of breakage and a fair bit of curb. Keeping it very tight on entry there. ERS up the hill now. Nice and tight line. 10th and a half up for the British van. Fully off the throttle there. Fairly heavy on the brakes. Slamming the brake down through that corner. Draining the battery. 2.5 tenths up on his time. Exiting the mini stadium section. Rounding the penultimate corner now. DRS wide open, draining the little battery he's got. He's going to go across the line. And sets an 11.10. Who's closest to the line? I think Swiss Stack's closest to the line of people who's on a lap. Nearly 3/10ths up is Swiss Stack, 2 3/4 of a tenth. 2 3/4 tenths up. That's too much to say. Rounding the final corner is the F5 man of Swiss Stack. Across the line, moves himself up into P6. As Mr. Aaron Stone across the line, 9.9. David Ann 2/10ths up on his time. Rounding the final corner. He's going to go across the line. Setting only a 10.3. Next up is... who is next up? Who's actually on a lap? Sonar's 4/10 up on his time, almost. And has invalidated. As Freddie moves up to P3. As we see people starting their final laps, we're going to ride on board with Jaden Carpenter, one of the final people to cross the line. Change that, we're going to the Czech Prime Minister. With so much battery left, he's gone off the track. (51.0) combined Sector 1 and 2. Daniel has gone straight on, I think, at turn 1. So this is the Czech Prime Minister rounding the final corner, draining his battery. Going across the line with a 13.0. Jaden Carpenter, 3/10 up on his time. He's going to go round the final corner now. Can Jaden Carpenter take pole position? He does! That is pole position for Jaden Carpenter, as Aaron Stone is not improving on his lap. He's done it. Jaden Carpenter is on pole position. As there we go, that is it. Qualifying is done. We have Jaden Carpenter on pole position for the Dutch Grand Prix, followed by the Mercedes of Aaron Stone, Carl Whiteside, Freddie Hamilton, David Ann. Give me one sec. Can't remember names. Maratib Ali, Swistack, Daniel, Charlie, Sweaty Chicken, Darylan, Sonar, Czech PM, Joel Harris, and Isfod rounding out the grid. As we now head to the race here in ERO F4. And we have rain, ladies and gentlemen. It is raining. Is it rain to the end of the race? Full wet race. Marvellous. Good luck, lads. Enjoy the rain. It's going to be fun. If not, I have mercy on your souls. But yes, welcome. We bring the British weather with us to Zandvoort. Heavy rain. What a marvellous thing to see. Good luck as we head to 3, 4, 5 red lights here for the Dutch Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. Jaden Carpenter with an alright start there. It's intermediates for the entire field. Aaron Stone's going to go diving down the inside into turn 1. They're going to be side by side into turn 3. There's contact between the pair of them. Jaden saves it. Through the middle goes Freddie Hamilton, but Jaden Carpenter holds his lead. Aaron Stone has dropped a few places. Freddie up to P2, great start by him. Joel Harris up 4 places as well. Sweaty Chicken up to P6, well done lad. And Jaden Carpenter is sort of pulling away. He's over a second ahead. Before Sector 2 is even done as David Ann gets past. Can Sweaty Chicken get past? Breaks fairly early. Maratib definitely didn't expect that. And Sweaty Chicken goes round the outside. Jaden Carpenter is 1.4 seconds ahead as Sonar and Swistat go side by side. Tiny bit of contact between the pair of them. But Jaden Carpenter leads, followed by Freddie, Carl, David and Sweaty Chicken as Sonar dives into the pits. You now see fighting between Stone and Maratib as Daniel tries to bring in an extra car. He's trying to go round the outside. On the banking here comes Joel Harris, trying to pull alongside. He is alongside. Touch wheels. That's going to be a legal overtake by Joel Harris, but he did kind of get pushed off. Potentially a snap of oversteer from the Red Bull driver. So now move up to see the fight for P2. It's a train down from 2nd to 7th. Let's have a look at the lower end of that. Maratib and Aaron Stone. Or maybe not, as we have side-by-side action and a bit of ghosting between the Czech Prime Minister and Daryl Ann. Isvod's going to join the party now. As Jaden Carpenter is up to a 2-second lead. This Pumped Mantis could potentially go for a move into turn 1. Carl Whiteside. Tiny bit of contact between the Alpine and the Red Bull. As we see David Ann sniffing the gearbox of the Alpine. As Jaden just loves to pull away here. Are we going to see a repeat of what happened last lap? No, we are not. But we're going to go right on board with the fight of Maratib and Sweaty Chicken. Now we're going to move further up because of the fight between David Ann and Carl Whiteside for the final podium position. So now I'm going to go into the mini stadium section. God, I hope this doesn't happen in F2 tomorrow. Or F1. As there's going to be a move for P6, potentially a move for P7 as well. Aaron Stone is dropping positions and Pumped Mantis has been dropped by Freddie Hamilton. Jaden Carpenter sets the fastest lap once more. We go into turn 1. Could see a move from Swistak down the inside on Chlorine Pilot. Nothing happening there. Moving back up to the fight for P3. As we see now a gap forming between Sweaty Chicken and Maratib. This True Streamer boy is getting very, very close to the rear of the Red Bull. He could try and do a switchback potentially. Getting the very early turn and he's going to try and send it on the inside. They're going to go side by side. Joel Harris is the outside car. Daniel is the inside car. Are they potentially going to go side by side? No! Joel Harris pulls out. We now filter our way through the mini stadium section. As Jaden Carpenter once again extending his lead up to 4 seconds, 4.2 seconds. And sets the fast lap again. Isford and Darrell Ann are fighting. Darrell Ann does have front wing damage. He's got Joel Harris going down the inside of Daniel. This is going to be interesting. He's going to go right over to the right, keeping it safe between the pair of them. Is he going to go for a switchback here? He is. And he gets the move done. Great move by the Swedish driver. Now going to move up to this bunch here. Sweaty Chicken. Trying to go down the inside of David Ann, looking for a great result here. You see a move between the pair here, between Maritib and Aaron Stone. Are the Mercedes going to go side by side? Yes, they are. Contact made between the pair of them. As we now go into the penultimate corner, Joel Harris having a look. Isn't going to go for it. It's going to be right on the rear of his teammates. They're going to go side by side through the final corner. Joel Harris could potentially set up a move into turn 1. To be last of the late breakers, he's not going to send it. He's now got Daniel on his inside, right behind him, I should say. So he tries to go down the inside of Aaron Stone. He's going to try and do his classic move of a switchback. What a move once again by Joel Harris. Here comes Daniel now. Not going down the inside there, as we have a 4-way choo-choo train. God, that's cringy. Of Freddie Hamilton, Carl Whiteside, David Ann, and Sweaty Chicken. Sweaty Chicken is now going to fall away from this pack, because he did go a bit wide, and he's going to bring with him all the way down to Daniel in P9. The Sweaty Chicken has now lost DRS to David Ann. Carl Whiteside is probably going to go for a move now on Freddie Hamilton. Hamilton going defensive here. He's going to try and go round the outside, is Whiteside. Harris with the fastest lap. Whiteside losing the rear end. And Hamilton losing the rear end and Whiteside making the move. As we see David Ann trying to push his way past. Just a tiny bit of bumping into his gearbox. As Jaden Carpenter is over 5 seconds ahead of P2, who's now pulling away. Freddie Hamilton is dropping like a stone. Sweaty Chicken with the first penalty of the session, and he goes deep. He's off the track, down to P7. It's David Ann. Is going to stay right on the rear of Freddie Hamilton. As we see a move, or a side-by-side piece of action between Stone and Smeets. Remco's going to back out. Jaden Carpenter with another fastest lap. And here comes Daniel down the inside of the Sweaty Chicken. And Maritib sets the fastest lap, so we have a bit of side-by-side action between Mr. David Ann and Freddie Hamilton, who now could potentially be pressured by Maritib, who is right behind him now, bringing with him Joel Harris. Gonna go sliding through there. Maritib round the outside. Great move by him. But David Ann did go off track, and which slowed him down. Swiss stack down the inside. That was interesting. And then I'll see Joel Harris closing in on Maritib. Joel Harris could potentially go for a dive bomb into turn 1 as Jaden Carpenter sends to 20.3 and increasing his lead to almost 6 seconds. Here comes Joel Harris. Bit of a late move by Maritib. Joel Harris is going to complete the move on Maritib into turn 1. And I'll go round the banking and up onto the hill. As I'm getting YouTube notifications galore. As Joel Harris runs a tiny bit wide as we see Maritib. No, that was David Ann. That was back there. I have a shocking memory. As Maritib is right behind Freddie Hamilton. He's going to be using ERS, is Maritib. So's Freddie Hamilton. Freddie Hamilton is down into the teens. Regaining his way into the 20s. With Maritib in the 60s. And using. So we see a move further back down into the field. Between Charlie Roberts and Swistack. We're going to move our way back up to the fight for P3. Maritib's going to go down the inside, getting the move done. The Sweaty Chicken set to 20.1. So now go rounding the banking as Maritib moves his way up onto the podium. So we see Charlie Roberts making a move on the Czech Prime Minister. They're going to go side by side through turn 3. Through turn 4 now as well. There's potentially going to be a move into Tarzan. No, there's not. As we see Swistack right behind Charlie Roberts. We're going to move our way up to the front with Joel Harris pressuring Freddie Hamilton. Round in the final corner now. Freddie Hamilton going defensive for no reason as David Ann dives into the pits. His tyres have had enough. And I'm going to switch glasses because these ones are hurting me. Oh wow, I can see much better with these ones. We now go into Tarzan. Harris setting up a move. Can't quite get alongside. But is he going to do what he did earlier on in the race? Yes, he is. He's going to send a dive bomb through there. Freddie Hamilton losing the rear end. And Joel Harris gets the move done up into P4. Good move by the Swede. Now move down to the fight between the Czech Prime Minister and Swistack. Swistack drifting on the exit there. Trying to pull alongside. Oh god, I don't know what I'm doing. I really need to keep this up, but it's... But yeah. Jaden Carpenter is losing a tiny bit of time to Carl Whiteside in P2. So we could potentially see a move by Swistack into turn 1 on the Czech Prime Minister with front wing damage. He backs out of it, does Swistack. Interesting decision there by the Polishman. I personally would have sent it and potentially sent it into the other person accidentally, but we don't talk about that. So now go up the hill into Tarzan. Staying behind is Swistack. Oh! Swistack into the wall! And 2 others into the wall, that's a safety car! Charlie Roberts is out. Isford with severe front wing damage. We have a safety car. As we now are going to see people diving into the pits for a new set of intermediate rubber. Everyone diving in. Oh, what's going on there? Sweaty Chicken is staying out. He's gonna take the lead of the Dutch Grand Prix. David Ann is not going to be very happy with that, as he has just pitted. Only a few laps ago. As we have one little sweaty chicken leading the race. In his V-carb. I could potentially do interviews at the end of the race. With Mr. Sweaty Chicken and Jaden Carpenter. And another PlayStation player if they get on the podium. Whoever else gets on the Sweaty Chicken is most likely not going to finish there, so it's probably just going to be Jaden Carpenter we're interviewing. Because he's on PlayStation. And no one else is. I'll probably message them. Doing a message interview. I'm going to create a thread, so it's there. Threads, create, new thread. Interviews for non-PlayStation people. That will go up as soon as the race has ended, with the drivers who have finished on the podium, who are not on PlayStation, which could potentially be 2 people, maybe the entire podium, if Jaden Carpenter absolutely chokes. So we're going to have one more lap of safety car. And then we go to green flag racing for as long as possible until someone decides to bin it. We have a ping in another server. Which I might leave because I'm doing nothing in there anymore. Yeah, go on then. So I'm now down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 servers on Discord. I'm managing them magnificently. As Sonar is now caught up to the back of the field, I probably should have gone to the toilet during this break, but I can't, because we're about to get back underway. Yes, we are. Safety car in this lot. Mr. Sweaty Chicken is going to lead us away. We're going to ride on board with Jaden Carpenter, if we can. There we go. As we're going to go Noah's Ark through the stadium section. And we are go here for the restart. There is a huge gap from David Arn to the rest of the field. Jaden Carpenter is going to try and go down the inside into turn 1. He's going to get the move done. Great move by the Brit as well as Carl Whiteside. He's now go up the hill. Jaden Carpenter leading the race, followed by Carl Whiteside and Sweaty Chicken, who's yet to pit. Through Tarzan. Jaden Carpenter sliding. Carl Whiteside right behind him. He's now going to go into the mini stadium section. Keeping it nice and clean. As we now have a move by Maritib on Sweaty Chicken. Joel Harris is up to P3 as well. I didn't notice that. Now go round the final corner. To start lap 17. Here comes Carl Whiteside. He's going to stay behind. Will Carl Whiteside potentially make a move? No, he won't. Daniel gets past Swistark. Now go through the banking. Up the hill. God, I'm tired. Down through Tarzan. Jaden Carpenter goes wide, nearly pins it. So does Carl Whiteside. Carl Whiteside takes the lead though, with Joel Harris right behind. He's going to send a dive bomb. Contact with Jaden Carpenter. And David Ann gets a 3 second. Joel Harris trying to stick his nose on the inside. This is going to make Carl Whiteside get an even bigger lead. Diving into the stadium section. Carpenter with a lot of curb. Czech Prime Minister has been there and has retired. Is that going to be another safety car? No, it's not. He retired on track. So we see David Ann diving into the pits. That for a front wing change? It is for a front wing change. As we now see the podium placed drivers fighting, well, pulling away from the rest of the pack. Joel Harris is going to try and set up a move. Down the inside, Jaden Carpenter turns in earlier than Joel Harris and goes wide. Joel Harris goes deep. Jaden Carpenter's going to regain his position, but this fighting is letting Carl Whiteside pull away. But Jaden Carpenter is fairly quick through the slow speed corners. So now I'm going to go round the final corner, burning all the ERS he's got. Getting back within DRS range, even though DRS is not a thing in these wet races. As Daniel gets past Remco, Sonar gets past Swistak around the outside. And I move back up to the top positions. That's Maritib making a mistake, costing himself a lot of time. Jaden Carpenter not sliding as much through Tarzan. So now I'm going to go through the slower speed corners. Jaden Carpenter is gaining and sliding through the corners. Now I'm going to go diving into the mini stadium section, as we have passed halfway distance. Through the penultimate corner and into the final corner. The top three trading fastest laps. That's going to go to Joel Harris at the end of it all. Good run through there by Jaden Carpenter. I'm going to go uphill into Tarzan. Jaden having a smooth rear end through there. That sounds a bit weird, but we're going to run with it. Joel Harris losing time to the top two. Carpenter gaining. Now go heavy into the braking zone there. Getting a really good exit out of the stadium section. Did Jaden Carpenter. Sonar makes a move on Sweaty Chicken. But they are fighting. We're going to stay on board with Jaden Carpenter, who's right behind almost the race leader of Carl Whiteside. Now I'm going to go on board with this pack here. Sonar with a move down the inside. He's going to get the move done. Back up to the leading pack. Jaden Carpenter staying within the 1 second mark, gaining a lot through the stadium section. across the line now. Jaden Carpenter is less than 6/10 away. I'm going to go through the technical part of the track. Carl Whiteside goes a bit wide. This allows Jaden Carpenter to gain a bit. Up the hill now. Just over 3/10 separate Jaden and Carl. Jaden going quite wide through Tarzan. As he now goes, sliding through into the left. Sliding through there. As we have a crashed car. Who would that be? That'll be an Istford at the back of the grid. Jaden Carpenter rounding the final corner onto the main straight, right behind Carl Whiteside. "23 laps have gone. 22 laps have gone. 14 to go. Jaden Carpenter losing the rear end again. He's onto the grass. Here comes Joel Harris. He gets the move done on the grass. Joel Harris up to P2. Great move by the Swede. He's sliding. David Anser tied in the pits. What did I say? Jaden Carpenter could throw it away. Sweaty chicken with 6 seconds of penalties now. In my books, he is known as one of the most track limit prone drivers ever. Austria a few seasons ago. No, last season. No, 2 seasons ago. 1 minute 20 odd seconds of penalties. Not disqualified. Man was put a whole lap down. But move into that section now. Joel Harris has lost the rear end. I think he might have gone into Maritib. That could potentially be a report for the McLaren driver. The sole McLaren driver left in the race. Joel Harris goes very wide onto the curb. Maritib sends it down the inside. That move was never going to happen. These two are going to give each other the positions back and forth. We're going to stay on board with this fight as Daniel gets past Freddie, who is struggling. Maritib trying to go around the outside of Joel Harris. Getting the move done before the braking zone. We're going to stay on board with this fight for P3 as we now have a certain Aaron Stone coming up behind the pair. Maritib trying to get some water on his tyres to cool them down. As we are 2/3 of the way through, Joel Harris lets his teammate through, surprisingly. And here comes Aaron Stone. Rounding Tarzan. Don't know why Joel Harris did that. He's through some of the corners. He is the quicker driver, in my opinion. But I haven't seen much of Aaron Stone's race. You now see Jaden Carpenter closing the gap to less than 2 seconds to the race leader. Aaron Stone making a few mistakes through there. Let's now go up the hill. We're going to actually switch to the fight between the two Red Bulls of Freddie Hamilton and Daniel. Hamilton is gaining on him. Oh, Daniel's gone off. Through goes Hamilton. On his teammate. Right behind him is the Aston Martin of Sonar. And Fingers getting past Sweaty Chicken, who's yet to pit. What a madman. There's contact between Sonar and Daniel. Sonar goes through. And Carpenter is still closing the gap. We're going to ride on board with Carpenter, as he has 10 laps to go to try and close down a 1.7 second gap. He's closing about 3/10 every 2 laps. The white side goes a bit deep and loses the rear end, but so does Carpenter, dropping the gap down by 2/10. So we have yellow flags. Not sure where. Fingers looks like he's made a mistake. Carpenter is gaining massively on the white side. The first official F4 race that goes alongside the ERO calendar with this lineup is Freddie Hamilton and other people. Get past Drew Streamer Boy, he's going slowly into the pits. What's happened with him? He's retired. With that into the pits comes Sweaty Chicken. Congratulations, you've pitted. So now I'm going to go sliding with Jaden Carpenter. Losing all that precious time he had. So we see them going down the main straight. Looks like we're seeing a podium of Whiteside, Carpenter and Maritib. But will the top two stay the same? Maybe not. Whiteside is deep. Carpenter's 2/10 behind him now. This is going to spice up the race. 8 laps to go. A fight between Carpenter and Whiteside. Sonar gets past Hamilton. Hamilton's made a mistake. Swiss stack up to 7th. Hamilton's trying to get himself back underway. He's down to 9th. Here comes Carpenter, with Maritib gaining. See a slow-moving Ferrari in Sector 2. As Maritib has caught up now. He's right behind them. Oh, Jaden Carpenter nearly bins it. Just keep it on the road, Jaden. Here comes Maritib. Trying to crush Carpenter's dreams of a race win. So you see both Darrell Ann and Hamilton into the pits. Darrell Ann's gone on to softs because he thinks his race is over. This sweaty chicken sets the fastest lap of the race. So now I go through the stadium section. The top 3 separated by less than a second. And Carl Whiteside's gone into the wall. Whiteside's in the wall. He's got no front wing. He has just ruined his dreams of winning. And he's retired. Jaden Carpenter has been gifted the race lead by Whiteside's mistake. That is costly by the Alpine driver. So now I go through Tarzan, on board with the McLaren of Maritib. Going a tiny bit deep. Sweaty chicken with the fastest lap, moving himself up into 7th. It actually does look like it's getting a bit drier. Isfod's onto softs. Jaden Carpenter pulling away. Now I'm going to go around the final corner. 5 laps to go here. Swistak makes a move on Daniel. Is it still raining? It stops raining. It has stopped raining. Has it? It has. Daniel with a 10-second speeding in the pit lane. People are going on to softs. Yellow flag, it's fingers, he's binned it. Daniel's retired in the pit. Sweaty chicken with the fastest lap. We're down to 9. Now go through the mini stadium section. Isfod in front of them. Getting out of the way. Oh, Maritib nearly bins it. Sweaty chicken up to 9 seconds of penalties. Isfod into the pits. Potentially to retire the car. So now go through the sweeping corners of the track. Oh, they take the exact same line and do the exact same thing. Maritib's losing the rear end more though. He's down to a second behind. Could Jaden Carpenter win in Zandvoort? The English taking over the Dutch Grand Prix. With a person from Pakistan in P2 and another Brit in third. Jaden Carpenter goes a bit deep, taking a lot of curb on the exit there. Just try not to light up the rear tyres, lads. So you now go across the line for 3 laps to go. Track is looking somewhat dry. Tiny bit of a shine to it still, so it is still a bit wet out in places. Carpenter losing the rear end. Maratib didn't have a slide this time. Maratib has gained a lot of time. As Carpenter slides even more. How has he saved that? I'm going to ride on board with Maratib. Brakes a bit later than Carpenter. He's going to try and make the move on Carpenter around the outside. Is he going to switch him? Not just yet. He's going to be using ERS. Oh my god, I'm trying to get the standings back up. That's a dive bomb. Jaden's going to switch him though. Oh god, that's not what I wanted to do. So they go side by side on the exit. Jaden Carpenter reclaims the lead. God, this is enthralling scenes. Maratib draining the ERS into turn 1. Is he going to go for another dive bomb? Yes, he is. Tiny bit of contact from Jaden behind him. As Aaron stones into the pits, what's he doing? Just stay out to the end of the race. He's lost out on a podium. Isfod sets the fastest lap. Through Tarzan. Tiny bit of a slide from Maratib. Sweaty Chicken sets the fastest lap. Jaden Carpenter's making mistakes. He's losing time. He's binned it. He's binned it. Jaden Carpenter's gonna be furious. Maratib, the F4 driver. There's one more lap to go before he takes victory. Here in F4. Starting the final lap now. The man from Pakistan leads us as Jaden Carpenter pulls into the pits. Please don't retire, Jaden. Why are you pitting on the final lap? Sonar's up to P2. And here comes Swistak for the podium. Maratib. Only has 1.5 sectors left to go. Before he takes victory in Zandvoort by a very dominant margin as this FOD is in the wall. As he rounds the penultimate corner, Mr. Maratib Ali, who decided to race with only a few minutes to spare, the man from Pakistan wins the Dutch Grand Prix. Great result for the man from F4. As Sonar gets P2. Followed by Swistak and Jaden Carpenter. Sweaty Chicken takes a P5, Aaron Stone P6, Freddie Hamilton in P7, Darrellan P8 and Isford P9. Oh, Jaden Carpenter got a puncture on the penultimate lap. Great racing there. Great racing from all, unlucky Jaden Carpenter. As we have a win from the man from Pakistan, Mr. Maratib Ali, the F5 driver, wins, followed by Sonar Swistak. F5 getting 2 of the 3 podium spots in F4, followed by Jaden Carpenter, very, very unlucky, followed by Sweaty Chicken, Aaron Stone, Freddie Hamilton, Darrellan, and Isford, the final drivers to get points towards finish, followed by Daniel, Carl Whiteside, Joel Harris, David Ann, Czech PM, and Charlie Roberts, rounding out the grid. That has been ERO F4. Maritib finishes with 90% tyre wear. I've been your commentator, Sparrow Maltby. This has been F4 with F5 dominance. I'll see you all next week for Band Hard Tyre Miami. I'll see you all next week. Goodbye.